Okay, this is from a trip that I did a little while back. Can you tell me if this is legal? Yeah, no, we are not legal because we're over 34,000 pounds on our drive axle. Now, it's 140 pounds over. So you got to think, okay, you know, how much fuel am I going to burn up before I hit a weigh station? You know, do I want a chance burning off 140 pounds of fuel? You know, or do I want to hope that a weigh station will let me go 140 pounds over? Usually a couple hundred pounds that let you go, but I don't like to chance it whatsoever. It's $9 for your first weigh, and then $1 each for every weigh after that. So if you have the time and you're not pushed up against the wall, I would, for this, you would definitely slide your fifth wheel, and I'd slide it forward because I'm only 10,400 on my steers. Now on my truck, I was talking about fuel weight. The truck I'm in right now, the Freightliner here, it puts about 99% of the weight on my steer axles, and my truck will hold 1,200 pounds of fuel. There's some good numbers to remember if you want to write them down. My truck will hold about 280 gallons of fuel, which equals out to about 1,200 pounds. So if I go another 1,200 pounds on my steers, assuming that I'm empty when I did this, would I still be legal? Yes, because that would be 11,600, right? Okay, I can't hear you answering because you're going to answer after I make the video. So what I did, I went ahead and slid my fifth wheel all the way forward, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Now, you can see that took me well over 12,000. I didn't add any fuel here. This is the same overall weight, 76,940, and I actually went down 20 pounds, but it's 76,960 on the old one. So I'm well underweight on my drives now. But remember, I was telling you about 12,000 pounds. Well, knowing that this with my fifth wheel all the way forward, I could still even it out and stay under that 12.5. I know a lot of people are going to say, yeah, go up to 12.5, no problem ever. Well, I don't have a ticket yet, and I don't want to get one. So what I did, I went ahead and slid the fifth wheel again. See, this is the same trip, 76,940, and there we go. Just by sliding the fifth wheel a couple times, bada bing, I am now legal. And I'll show you how to do that here in a minute. I want to do one other set which shows you how the weights change when you do your tandems. Okie dokie, artichoke. As you can see with this one, we're 34,940 on our trailer axle, on our tandems. We're 77,600 total, so we know we're not overweight, so we should be able to adjust the load, right? So this is assuming that our tandems are all the way forward. The farther forward you have the axles on the trailer, so assuming this would be in the all the way back position, if you move them forward, it puts more weight on those. Alright, the farther you move them back, the more weight it puts on the truck. So see what happens? It's like a scale. The farther back, the more weight pushes down forward. The farther forward, the less weight pushes forward. So we're at 34,940, so we're 940 pounds overweight. So we want to figure, we want to move our tandems 9 holes, or 6 holes ish back, because they say that on our trailers, each hole that you move it back, and I'll show you that here in the next video, equals between 2 and 250 pounds, and the farther you get back, each hole actually goes more because of the pendulum effect. So I think I moved this one back 6 holes, and you can see what happened. We are now definitely legal, 33,380, and watch what it did to our the weight on the truck. 32,580 and 11,640. See how much it brought it up? It brought our steers up about 80 pounds, and it put the rest of the weight on our drive. So we went from 31,80 to 32,580. So there we go. There's all the boring stuff about it. So that's probably going to be it for this video. While I was putting things away here, it dawned on me that that I talked about fuel weight for just a second. I'm in a 2008 Freightliner Columbia. So if you get one of these identical trucks, with the full skyrise sleeper, with the tanks all the way forward, you know that the mass majority of the fuel weight will go on your steer axles. The last truck I had was a Volvo. I want to say it was a 780. It was I think it was a 2008 also, and it had the Volvo motor in it instead of the ISX. And now that one was split about 50-50. So, if you put on 1,000 pounds of fuel, 500 would go on your steers, 500 would go on your drives. I also had a 2010 International ProStar. That was about the same way. It was just about 50-50 also. All these have the full sleeper, their skyrise, but the International was the heaviest truck out of all of them. It did have the Cummins engine in it, but out of the 3 trucks I've had, the lightest truck by itself, by far actually, was the Volvo. So if I were you, a lot of times they'll have a scale at your terminal or whatever. The first time you get your truck, I would run my truck across the scale all by itself, and then grab an empty trailer and take your truck and an empty trailer across the scale. So that way you know how much you weigh. That's why I found out that I'm about 35 and change. I think with this truck I'm 35.5. With the Volvo I was 35.250 or so. And note how much fuel you have at the time, and watch, assuming that you fuel up shortly after you leave the yard, how many gallons you put in, so you can figure how much extra weight to add at about 6 pounds a gallon for diesel. So I know it's a lot of numbers and a lot of terminology in this video. I tried to break it down as remedial as I could on it, and so if you have any questions, just like all the other videos, just put it in the comment section. I'll try to answer it best I can. Okey-doke, folks.